Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, but not far, far away, there were humans, but there were no state because nobody had the idea to call something a state. There were tribes and they lived peacefully next to each other. Then one guy thought, well, I have a big club, and because of the simple fact that I have this big club and I could club people with this club on the head, I have respect. So, what if I show more people my big club? More people will respect me then. So he did it and clubbed some people on the head. Then he realized, well, respect alone is not as nice as resources. So he told the people who respected him then, people, give me resources or I'll club you with my club on the club, head. And the people said, no, go screw yourself, we made our own clubs. But this guy was not as stupid as he looked, so he gathered a band of other guys with big clubs, and they trained each day and became fearsome warriors, and soon nobody wanted them to fight them. So his little band of assholes were a private organization, of course, funded by a private guy, run by a private guy with other private guys, with the intent to translate respect and force into resources. As a great leader with this big club, you have to come up, of course, with a title, and this title is King. Yeah, he is the king. Who made him king? Well, when you ask him, he will tell that God Hugo Bugo came from the heavens and told him, rule over these people and club them over the head if they don't pay their taxes. And sometimes he tells that the people want him to rule, which is of course bullshit, but he tells it anyway. So this guy who calls himself the king will now proclaim that he rules over everything, well, until another king came along and said more or less the same thing. So they fought, but they learned, well, we're equally strong. So they sit together and said, okay, you enslave these people over there and I enslave these people over there. And then they called it peace. And these two entities called themselves kingdoms, states. And they went home and told their slaves, citizens, behold, I am the savior of you all and you are now my people and we call you all club guy people and we live in the land of the club guy. Evil people wanted to come over and take your woman and resources and we saved you. I was in the front line and I saved you. By the way, the next deliverment of gold, grain and virgins shall be delivered next week to my mighty castle. Remember, pay this stuff. It's for your own good. It's that we protect you. It's your own self-interest to remember we are the good guys. All other guys are evil. Some 100 years later, the new king was weak and stupid and made a major mistake. He pissed off the army, so another group, the bureaucrats and the rich, managed to kick him out. With the help of these guys with the clubs, and the club guy now worked for the light, and it worked well till they pissed off the guys with the clubs and they took power in the name of the people, of course. Up and down and round and round. This company was founded by a caveman with a big club, got a new management, was rebranded, but in essence the product is still the same. Intimidate people so that they give you resources. When I say that every state is a company, it's that. It's that what I mean. I don't say that it is not legitimate or that I don't have to follow their rules. I accept that in a Norwegian restaurant I am not allowed to bring a steak. It's cool. If I don't like it, I could leave. I accept the rules of companies. I accept the rule of the state. But I think it's a good idea to point out that the state is not a magical entity that exists in the realm of demons, gods and other untouchable stuff that can't be changed. The nature of every state is in essence always the same. People with clubs, pointy or sharp things, that use this stuff to intimidate other people to get their stuff without something in return or nothing in return. The state will always take more from you than you get from the state. And if you think that you are one of those who benefits from this intimidation, think again, because leaders are replaced pretty damn fast and often by their mortal enemies. Whenever you give the state more power, think about if you would want to have your fiercest enemy wield that very power. I don't say that we can do without the state, because the state is an effective tool to defend us against other states, but from my view, that's about it. Reducing the power of the guys with the clubs and those who control the guys with the clubs gives us more freedom. And free people work harder because they work for themselves. A free society is richer, happier, and has a future. A system where everybody wants to become part of the state, part of the guys with the clubs, on the other hand, is a perversion and will always fail.